Okay, the part that I also want to clarify for you after we've covered this section is about polling. The polling that you do for the students comes from here, and you can create a poll with two types of questions. There are multiple choice questions and yes, no options. So if we come here, for example, in our session and I go to the polling section, I can choose, for instance, yes or no and ask a question like, is our training session today acceptable? So is it acceptable? Then you would click on the start button. And right now, without any answers, we have 57 participants. We can see how many say yes and how many say no. So you can see the polling results in front of you. It will show you how many said yes and how many said no, right? So that's regarding the polling. After the poll is done, you can end it. Now, the second and final part I want to clarify for you is about breakout groups, which we call breakout groups. Right now, I'm here with you. And you. Click on the start button. We have 57 people. We can see how many will say yes and how many will say no. The polling results are here. Who said yes or no? Then you can end the poll when done. We have 56 people here. I will create groups for separate discussions. So what's the number here and what's the number there, right? So this is regarding the polling. After the poll is done, you can end it. Now, the second and final part I want to clarify for you is about the breakout groups, which we call breakout groups. Right now, I'm here with you, and we have 56 participants. I want to create groups, for example, to discuss each group separately. So while I'm talking, you all can hear me. But as the subject teacher, I want to take, say, 5 students and discuss something specific with them. 5 students to discuss, while the rest won't hear me and won't know what the discussion is about. I can, for instance, take one student at a time and ask them a specific question. We have 56 participants, and I will create and discuss groups. While I talk, you can hear me. As the teacher, I will take 5 students to discuss specifics. 5 students discuss, others won't hear or know. I can take 1 student at a time for questions. I use breakout groups. Setting them up gives options. The best is random assignment. It randomly assigns students. As the teacher, I bring 5 students to discuss. I discuss with 5. Others don't listen or know. I can bring 1 student at a time for questions. What do? I use breakout groups. Setting breakout groups gives options. The best is random assignment. It randomly assigns students. The system determines, but you specify the task. You determine it. Choosing the task shows a main room. The main room has 56 or 57 members. It shows the main room where we are together. Going to breakout groups, I pull students. From 57 participants, I take 2, 3, or 4 for a group. I take from the main room. The system determines this, but for the assigned task, you will specify it, you will determine it. So when you choose the assigned task, it shows you that you have a main room. The main room has how many? It has 56 or 57 members. So it shows you the main room, which is where we are all together. Now, when I go to the breakout groups, I want to pull a group of students. For example, from the 57 participants, I want to take 2, 3, or 4 and put them in a breakout group. So I will take from the main room where everyone is present and can hear me right now, and I want to take 3, 4, or 5 of you and gather in a group that we will call the breakout group, okay? So the breakout groups are created from the main room. Now you will notice down here, it shows me 4 options. We're all in one room, the main room. We're all together in one room, the main room. I'll select students from 57 participants to form a breakout group of 2, 4. Taking from the main room where everyone hears me, I'll take 3, 5 of you to form a breakout group. You'll see 4 options. It shows 4, but there are 57. Click Show All to see all. Clicking Show All displays all. Everyone can hear me now. I want to take 3, 4, or 5 of you to form a breakout group. Breakout groups are created from the main room. You'll notice 4 options here. We are 57 in total, but only 4 are shown to avoid clutter. To see all, click Show All. This will display all 57 participants. You can scroll through the list. The best option is to show fewer participants initially. The system has given me 2 groups, Group 1 and Group 2. We're 57 in the main room. Only 4 are visible now. Click Show All to see everyone. Clicking Show All displays all. Showing fewer is best for now. I have 2 groups, Group 1 and 2. I want to divide them into 10 groups. I need to create groups 3 to 10. Click the circle with a plus to create. I'm in Group 2. Click to create Group 3. Okay, what is better? Should we show less so that we can get the first 4? Now, which is preliminary. Okay, after that, he gave me the system 2 groups, Group 1 and Group 2 from him. I want to divide 57 participants into 10 groups. To do this, I create group 3, 4, 5, and so on, up to 10. Click the circle with a plus sign to create a group. I'm in group 2, and clicking the circle creates group 3. Clicking after group 3 creates group 4, and so on. I can create as many groups as needed. To delete a group, use the trash can icon. Click it to delete group 5, and it confirms deletion. Now I have group 3 and 4. I can delete group 4 too. I want to assign Dr. Bilal, Dr. Farhana, Zahir, and Dr. Maznura to group 1. I go to the circle with 3 dots, and Dr. Bilal is here. The number of groups appears here. I assign Dr. Bilal to group 1. Click on the circle after group 3 to create group 4. Clicking on the circle for group 5 creates it too. You can create unlimited groups. To delete a group, use the trash can icon. Click it and say delete. It will delete group 5 and confirm deletion. Now you have group 3 and 4. Delete group 4. Now you have 3 groups. Assign Dr. Bilal, Dr. Farhana, or Zahir, and Dr. Maznura to group 1. Click the circle with 3 dots, find Dr. Bilal, and assign him to group 1. Do the same for Dr. Zahir. In group 1, place the 3 as needed. Assign Dr. Sahar to group 2, along with Dr. Abu Bakr and Dr. Asma. I have 3 groups. Assign Dr. Bilal, Dr. Farhana, or Zahir, and Dr. Maznura to group 1. I go to the 3-dot circle and Dr. Bilal is here. Assign Dr. Bilal to group 1. Then Dr. Zahir to group 1. Place 3 in group 1. Dr. Sahar in group 2. Dr. Abu Bakr in group 2. Dr. Asma in group 2. Dr. Asma in group 3. Start distributing to group 3. Dr. Ayman in group 3. Not distributing everyone, but you can distribute as you see fit. Add more groups as needed. Then click Start. Click Start for separation. Dr. Zahir is in group 1. I place 3 in group 1. Dr. Sahar is in group 2. Dr. Abu Bakr is also in group 2. Dr. Asma is in group 2. Dr. Asma is in group 3. I will distribute professors to group 3. Dr. Ayman is in group 3. Not everyone is distributed, but you can group them as you see fit. You can add more groups. Then click Start. When I click Start, there will be a separation. Before clicking Start, as the instructor, what should I do? Where should I go? I want to join a group. I take a breath, click here, and decide which group to join. I join group 1. Now I am in group 1. And when I click Start, I will be in group 1. In group 3, Dr. Ayman will be in group 3. You can distribute them into groups as needed. Then click Start. Before clicking Start, as the instructor, what should I do? Where should I go? I want to join a group. I decide to join group 1. Now in group 1, clicking Start separates us as a breakout group, and you won't hear us. Dr. Bilal, Dr. Sahar, Dr. Noura, and I will be in a separate group, unheard and unseen. After finishing, we end the session. As the course instructor, what should I do? Where should I go? I want to join one of these 3 groups. So I take a breath and click here. And as the instructor, I want to join which group? I will join group 1, for example. So now I am in group 1. When I click Start, group 1 will be the one that operates. She will be the one who will work and will be separated as a side group from the main room, and you will not hear us at all. So, Dr. Bilal, Dr. Sahar, Dr. Noura, and I will be together in a group completely separate from you, and you will not hear us or know what we are doing or saying. Okay? And after we finish with the group or the termination labs, and I go back to the same setup that you see here, I take a breath and move to another group, the second group, and click Start to begin discussing with the second group. We will separate from the second group, from the main room. This is what we call the breakout groups. I'm moving between the groups to discuss with them, and I don't want the other groups or the other members or students in the main room to hear us. This is what we call the breakout groups. Is this part clear to you, or is there a problem? Or the other members or students in the main room can hear us. This is called what? It's called breakout groups. Is this part clear to you, or is there a problem? Dr. Ahmed says, I mean the tool. Okay, gentlemen. Which tool? Excuse me. Which tool? Because I don't remember the question. Dr. Muhammad Hadi. I have appointed you as a presenter. Go ahead, Dr. Muhammad Saif. Go ahead. Dr. Muhammad, do you have the microphone? Or did you press it by mistake? Okay, sir. In general, do you have the microphone? If you want to ask a question? Okay, welcome. Go ahead. Go ahead, doctor. As for Dr. Ahmed, he was saying the tool. I didn't pay attention to any tool. If you could explain to me what the tool is. Okay, doctor, I will return you to rejoin. Do any of you have questions about the part about breakout groups? The breakout groups are one of the nice features available in virtual classrooms. Remember to stop recording. You must click stop recording button. Also, after stopping the recording, you can end the session by clicking leave session. We conclude our training, leaving you 5 minutes before evening prayer. These 5 minutes are for questions about virtual classrooms, Blackboard, or any issues. Any questions about virtual classrooms? When you finish the session or the lecture with the students, remember to stop the recording. You must click on the stop recording button from the interface or the tool that you see. Also, after stopping the recording, you can end the session by clicking on the leave session tool. With that, we have concluded our training today, and I will leave you now with 5 minutes before the evening prayer. These 5 minutes are for any questions related to virtual classrooms or anything related to Blackboard in general or any issues you might encounter in Blackboard. Most importantly, do you have any questions regarding virtual classrooms? Thank you all, and I hope I haven't fallen short in my explanations. I hope everything is clear to you, God willing. The recording of today's session will be sent to you on the WhatsApp group, and the certificates will also be sent to you so that you don't miss out, God willing. We have finished our training today, and I'm leaving you now with 5 minutes before the evening prayer. These 5 minutes are for any questions related to virtual classrooms or anything related to Blackboard in general, or any issues you might encounter in Blackboard. Most importantly, do you have any questions regarding virtual classrooms? All right. May God bless you all. I hope I haven't fallen short in my explanations, and I hope everything is clear to you, God willing. The recording of today's session will be sent to you on the WhatsApp group, and the certificates will also be sent to you so that you don't miss out, God willing. I want to thank you all, and thank Ms. Munira, who is supervising our course today. I really appreciate her. Thank you all, and peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings.